Okay, welcome back everyone. Let's get right into the stock market technical analysis. We're looking for profitable trade ideas using the charts to be our guide. Let's just dive right in. You guys drop me a thumbs up as I go along if you're finding value. I do appreciate that. Obviously subscribe. You don't have much to lose there. Follow along. All right, triple Qs, guys, tech sector. Obviously, I prefer to start out with this sector just due to the fact that it's heavily weighted in the S&P 500. But equally, if we're trying to short this, to me, this looks like the best sector for shorting. So let's go ahead and look at what we have going on the daily chart. Biggest thing, really the biggest development on triple Qs that I'm really continuing to look for is this PPO crossover. Let me zoom in here. Just looking for that bearish crossover. We don't have it yet, but still pointed down. Looks like we're heading in that direction. So we need to see that to help confirm. And if we get that, then yes, we do have negative divergence, meaning this high right here, higher than the former high and less momentum. All right, telling us that we're likely, reversing trend essentially, or, very close to reversing trend. As of right now, we don't have that crossover yet on the daily chart. When I go down to the hourly on triple Qs, we do have the crossover there on the hourly. Really, it just happened last week right there, and we have seen, some weakness since that crossover. Now, I know a lot of people have recency bias, and they just think that, hey, we've gone up, and so we're just going to continue to go up. But that's not how trading typically works. Typically, we start to see inflection points, and we're looking for those points where the market's about to turn. There's an inflection point on the hourly chart where we had an hourly bearish crossover, and we've kind of traded sideways. Now, we're really just stuck within this range. I think the Fed's coming out this week, so maybe we're just going to like this sideways holding pattern. But resistance about 317.50, support about 313.50. That's it. They hit it, they bought it. They hit it today, they bought it. We're at resistance now, and we're really going nowhere. We're just kind of, the last 2 days we hit support, they bought it, gap down, they bought it. So we'll see how this plays out. But we're just kind of ping-ponging between these two ranges, and there's really nothing else going on triple Qs. So we'll just continue to look for indication that we're getting a larger trend trade with that bearish PPO crossover. I think we're going to get it. Obviously, I'm looking at these FANG stocks. Microsoft and Apple make up most of triple Qs. NVIDIA has a heavy weighting in there as well. So let's look at those. We'll start off with Apple. Apple on the daily chart, when I zoom in on the PPO, you can see just starting to get it. Not quite there, but it looks like it's just imminent, any day. So whether we bounce here or not, I don't know, but we don't have the crossover yet on the daily chart. So we'll just continue to look for that on Apple. Again, you start to get that on Apple, that's the largest stock in the, weighted percentage and the largest stock in the company in the world, really. Then that's going to have some bearish implications. So looking for continued signs of that crossover. We already have negative divergence. We just want to see that confirm. We also have this upward trend line here on the daily, support, 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 and a break of that would be a sell signal, and for sure would give you that crossover on that PPO. So, you start to see a break of that trend and the bearish crossover. That's definitely going to be further confirmation that we're rolling over. Microsoft, don't really have, we don't have any crossover yet on the PPO. You can see here just kind of, we're just kind of going sideways right now. I mean, really for the last week, we're really just kind of going sideways, and today's no difference. Gap down, they bought it up, but we're still stuck within this range. So we need to see a little more information on Microsoft. Again, big support. There's support right in here, about 282.27. That was former resistance. Lots of reactions, and we're just treading water above there. If we break down, especially with the gap down and big impulsive breakdown, that's going to be, the bull trap that I think is likely coming, but we don't have it yet. Now, NVIDIA broke its trend. NVIDIA has this bearish rising wedge on the daily. I clearly marked that out. You have negative divergence on the RSI and the PPO, and we do have that bearish crossover on the daily chart. It's right there. It came the other day. So again, that's confirmation. This is a bearish looking chart, and what I think is just happening today is there's just some dip buyers coming in, buying the dip. They could rally up for a back test, but again, it's sell the rip in this chart. Now that this bullish trend has been broken, I believe it's sell the rip. So rally should be sold, as this will likely continue to drift lower. All right, it's not going to go straight down. It's going to, there will be rallies. But again, I'm looking at it from a perspective of the charts tell me the trend has reversed. You broke the trend line support right here, all right? And it's sell the rip. So, once the selling pressure comes in, you'll see things rolling over. But again, it's not the ideal time to short something when it's dropping, a lot. So nobody wants to short right here and now, because if they don't recognize what this chart is really telling, they just see the price actions up today, they're bullish. And then if we gap down and start to sell impulsively, that's when they get bearish. That's not necessarily the right time. I don't want to short when something's down big. I would rather short into rallies, into resistance. All right. So NVIDIA, when I really look at the chart on the daily, we've got some support levels, 224.50 or about 224.60 and then 207.90. Both of those look like decent support levels. I really like that 207.90 as kind of a little more, that's good support. So I think we're working our way down to that level as a minimum target with potentially a whole lot more. And the semiconductors here, this is the index SOXX. Again, just a little bounce today off support. You can see here on the daily chart, we've got support really marked out here. Here's another reaction there. And today, Friday and today, the buyers are stepping in at support. That's where the buyers should be stepping in. You buy at support. But that's only one part of the picture. The other part is I'm looking at this divergence here, and you can see negative divergence on the daily chart, bearish PPO crossover the other day. In general, even though the buyers are stepping in at support today, the momentum is really dropping off, and we've got confirmation of that divergence. So I'm looking for more for lower prices. Now, yeah, they could. It's very possible they're going to rally it up and maybe put in another high. Completely possible. I can see that. Nothing in the chart tells me that can't happen. So if that does happen, that doesn't indicate to me that this is just going to go on and continue to rally higher. It tells me that that divergent high is likely going to get sold into, and we're ultimately heading back down to the trend line and ultimately going to break. All right, these divergences are big on the daily chart, and they're telling me that this upward trend line is going to break. Whether it's going to break there, which it obviously didn't, or whether it breaks on the next test, it tells me that they're likely going to break very, very soon. So we'll keep an eye on that. And we'll take a look at ARK, because obviously, the market has rushed into the growth stocks again over the last couple weeks, and ARK is, kind of one of those major sectors. ARK obviously just sitting at support right here. So again, I'm seeing these growth stocks just kind of hovering around support, many of them, and they're not broken yet, but they are right at support. Some of them are starting to break. CrowdStrike here. You'll see here, same kind of picture. You've got an uptrend line here, started to put a negative divergence right here, and had that sell signal or breakdown on a couple days ago right there. So what's really going on? Today is just opening Monday up. We're just kind of floating. It's probably still a lot of institutions are out on holiday, and we're just kind of floating around, not moving up, not moving down. That's what it looks like is going on in the broad market on triple Qs. When I go back to the hourly chart, just really looks like, you gap down, they buy it up, but we're really going nowhere. We're just kind of stuck in this range here, and we need a catalyst. So that's pretty much what I've got on the markets for now, or at least what I'm looking at. And if you guys have anything else you're interested in, leave a comment or maybe post to the group of charts that you guys are interested in or tickers. Again, if you haven't taken the course, check out my stock market technical analysis course, link in the description below. And then finally, if you're interested in joining the private member group for additional market insights, and just additional commentary, link in the description below of this video on that one as well. So check those two things out. There's a lot of value in those. Okay, guys, I'm going to get the video out, and if anything changes, I'll get something out at the end of the day. But otherwise, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.